Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early Break, full show ahead today as we are counting down the days to Big Ten Media Days, just about 15 days away from that, Sip, which means the start of the season will be here before you know it.
Yeah, how about that?
How about that?
Good morning.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank
Okay.
you.
I thought you were messing with your headphones for a second over there.
Thank you to Bagels and Joe for this fabulous coffee that's going to get us off the ground.
Yes.
Off the ground, like that plane in American Made.
Oh, here it is. We couldn't go a month without a Barry Seals American Made reference. You just can't do
You
it.
still haven't watched the movie?
Nope. I have seen
Oh.
Top Gun Maverick, though, which you haven't.
One-upmanship right out of the gate.
Boom. Zing.
Gus was here early.
Can I tell you something about Gus real quick?
Yes.
I
Oh, I don't know if
greeted
he's on
Gus
one.
this morning when I said, "Good morning, Gus." He's like, "Hey, Jake, how you doing?" I said, "How was your weekend?" He said, "I don't remember."
Uh-oh. That sounds like a good weekend, Gus. Was it good? Shake your head. Yes, it was good.
He's like, "Okay." Oh, I said, "That's interesting. You don't remember?" He's like, "No."
Boy, I didn't have that kind of weekend. Worked all weekend. Say the name of my book again.
I missed out on all the fun
Yeah,
by
I-
Steve Sipple.
I definitely did this weekend. Friday work, Saturday work, Sunday work.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I didn't get
It's a
out on the
fun-packed
hog.
weekend.
I didn't get out on the hog either Saturday or Sunday.
They were hog days too. There was no rain, right?
Yeah, you know
Pretty
what
sunny.
though? I exist in a world where my weekend will be this. Like I might not work today.
Okay.
So
Playing golf.
no, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to play golf.
Simple suggestion. Wasn't
Yeah, I
a
definitely
question.
got to get on a bike. But yeah, so I'll take a couple days off during the week. That's the thing.
You prefer that?
Yeah,
Really?
kind of do.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the weekends are good to work because you don't get bothered much because everybody else is doing other stuff. They're at the lake.
They're actually having fun.
Yeah, they're out at the
They're
lake.
actually weekending, which is wonderful. I played golf both days this weekend.
You were silent. I didn't hear from you at all.
Yeah.
Couple nasty texts.
No, you started a nasty text.
Couple very inappropriate texts.
Yeah, it's a simple chain of command there, Played golf on Saturday morning with Jay Foreman.
You did?
Yes.
Where'd you guys play?
Woodland Hills Eagle. Where I
Really?
play golf league tonight. Yeah, we had like a 7:15 tee time. I'm getting up early and playing golf. Then I got up yesterday at 6:30 to go drive to Beamer
Gosh.
with my buddy, and we played a little scramble up there
Uh-huh.
at 9 a.m. Got back at like 4:30.
Okay.
It's a long day.
It is.
Tired. But
Yeah.
here I am.
All right, so let's cover football a little bit. Nothing small talk. People want to hear some football. I sat down with Chubba
You did.
Chubba,
Purdy.
on Friday. Friday seems like a long time ago. Wasn't that long ago? But yeah, that was. I think we have a lot to discuss. Like you said, it's coming. Football's coming quick.
It
Camp
is.
players report. July 26th. Players report July 26th. First practice July 27th. So what are those guys? Chubba Purdy also talked to Gabe Irvin.
Okay.
They are horses kicking a stall right now.
Are you the same?
No, I'm an old horse.
You're the one sitting in the back.
Resting.
Yeah.
They are.
Not even the stable.
All right.
Just out wandering
You asked a
by
loaded
himself.
question. You asked the
He's just
question.
out wandering in the
What if I
pasture
would have
somewhere.
said I was kicking the stall?
I would have laughed. So I don't think so.
You said, Sip, you're 56.
You ain't kicking any stall. You're just wandering by yourself in the pasture. Hoping for someone to come
What's wrong
find
with
you in the
What's wrong with
pasture.
you? What's wrong with
That's
you?
like that visual.
What is
It makes me
wrong with
laugh.
Oh, come on. They're getting ready for camp.
Yes.
What did you write on the budget?
Well, you wrote, you talked to Chubba Purdy, you said, and Gabe Ervin, but speaking with Chubba Purdy, I still believe that most people in the state believe that Casey Thompson is the starter until it's proven something else besides that. But for Chubba Purdy, he told you he is entering the fall believing this is a race, basically, right?
Well, yeah, he wants it to be. He knows where he stands. I mean, he wanted to make it clear he doesn't necessarily feel like an underdog. The phrase that got people that seemed to capture people was he said, I hope it's a, I hope you get I should have the quote from me. I don't. I hope it's an honest competition. That a lot of people are like, why would you say, is he concerned about that? Which draws you to a parallel in Nebraska football history where I don't know if there was there a fair competition when Sam Keller was awarded the job in 2007?
I don't think so.
Okay, so people will ask the question, Jake, why should Chubba Purdy and Logan Smothers be on them? Why should they be regarded the way Casey Thompson is regarded? And I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying there's precedent in Nebraska football history of an example of danger of giving the nod to a quarterback just because he's more experienced. Just to take his experience and say, that guy's got more experience, therefore he should be the starter. And why would we question otherwise? Well, there's a pretty good example in Nebraska football history of why you should absolutely question it and not just hand a job to a guy based on his experience. People will remember Sam Keller. The stories are very parallel. There's parallels anyway between Sam Keller and Casey Thompson. Do you remember Sam Keller?
I do. 2007 from Arizona State.
Yeah. So he transferred to Nebraska actually in the fall of 2006 after starting 7 times at Arizona State, right? Was having a big year at Arizona State in 2005, and he hurt his hand.
Yep.
Made 7 starts that year. 7 starts in 2005, hurt his hand. Kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it? Casey Thompson, 10 starts at Texas, hurt his hand. Played with a hand injury.
Yep.
Came to Nebraska, unlike Sam Keller, does not have to sit out. Sam Keller sat out 2006, remember?
That's right.
Which
was a good year for Nebraska.
He transferred to Nebraska in 2006 in August. And back then, that was an incredibly big moment. It was a huge story. I know you were young.
I remember it. I mean, Nebraska at that point was playing good football with Zach Taylor. And Sam Keller was going to be the bridge to what was next for Nebraska, right?
That's exactly right. And it was a colossal story. Now, Nebraska fans beaten down since then. Casey Thompson comes from Texas. Not quite as it didn't feel as big. I covered both. I was the beat writer. I was in my last year as the beat writer at the Lincoln Journal-Star for Nebraska football before going to a columnist role in 2006. And I can remember covering that story, and it was a gigantic story in August. The bridge was coming. Okay, now getting to the point, why don't you just hand a guy a job based on his previous experience? Because what happened at Nebraska shows you why. Sam gets hurt late in the 2007 season. Joe Gans comes in and just starts firing darts.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And then what happened?
Big stats.
What happened in 2008? Joe Gans starts setting records.
Yep.
And then what happens? People start saying, you start hear the narrative. Yeah, he should have been the quarterback last year. He was actually the better quarterback last year in 2007. He was a guy that guys responded to, but they went with Keller. That's why you just don't hand a job to a guy based on his experience.
Well, think about this too, Sim. I mean, in a positive way for Nebraska, 2010, Nebraska's coming off of a 1 second away from winning the Big 12 championship. They beat Arizona in the Holiday Bowl. And although Zach Lee did not have a good season in 09, he was seen as probably the starting quarterback going into the year. But here comes Taylor Martinez in the fall. And game 1, he's a starter. So Zach Lee leads the team to a 10-win season the previous year.
Mhm.
And he's not the starter game 1 because
Right.
they had a competition. They wanted to get better.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
And it worked out. I mean, they
Right.
didn't end the year. They didn't end the year well, but they had a great start to the year.
Mhm.
We're a top 5 team because they changed things up and didn't do the same thing.
Mhm.
Made it a competition that worked out.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get a competition or not. Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's sad. I mean,
I don't
sad.
know.
The
No,
fact that
wait,
those
hold
words
on.
Have to be uttered or
Hold on,
said.
hold on. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know either way. I mean, I don't. I could have said I don't know if they'll just hand Casey the job. I don't know. That it's not necessarily bad. I'm going to get that Chuba quote that raised people's eyebrows over the weekend. Here it is, Jake. This is what Chuba said. Chuba Purdy doesn't. I tweeted this on Saturday while you were out playing golf, and everybody else was
here.
having fun at the lake. Chuba Purdy doesn't
Yeah.
think of himself as an underdog in Nebraska's QB race, although he understands why others may. He said, "I'm focused on competing with Casey Thompson, Logan Smothers, whoever. Hopefully, it's a fair competition, and whoever competes and does the best gets the job." Hopefully, it's a fair competition. It will be.
Is this actually a 3-way race? Do you see it see this as 3 guys that have an actual
Yes.
chance to start?
Absolutely. They all have starting experience.
They do. Logan's got 1 game, right?
Chuba's got 1 game. Casey has 10 games.
So
Yeah, he has the experience. He doesn't necessarily have the success. That wasn't Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, Casey's here for a reason. He wasn't going to be the starter at Texas. So it just sounds like if people, I don't know if you're hearing from people on the text saying, why are you guys creating a quarterback controversy? We're not.
why is it fine to not have nobody here was playing last year besides Logan Smothers
Right.
here for 1 game?
Right. There's no
There
quarterback.
should be some sort of controversy there.
Well, you can just
Competition.
Yes, it's very easy to substitute the word competition for controversy. It doesn't have to be a quarterback controversy. It's just a quarterback competition. Make them compete for it. They should. Logan Smothers has done enough in this program that he deserves a fair shake. Okay. You brought Chuba Purdy here for a reason. All right. Chuba started a game at Florida State against North Carolina State in 2020. He tells a pretty interesting story. I mean, it's the way that game unfolded. He said they wouldn't let me throw. They were like, they had me in the wild. They didn't have him. They were putting a running back in a wildcat a lot. Again, he was just a true freshman. Only 5 true freshmen have started a game at quarterback in Florida State history. And 220 against North Carolina State, Chuba started. Actually, Jake ran the ball that game 12 times for 54 yards.
Oh,
He was
ran it 12 times.
The thing that people forget about Chuba is he was the number 6 dual threat quarterback in the country in Arizona. Number 8 by Rivals, number 6 by 24/7 Sports. He was a dual threat quarterback.
We heard Matt Masker say last week that you won't see quarterbacks taking as much running as much this year, basically.
No, Chuba told me, I'm a pass first quarterback now. I go through my reads, but if we get in trouble, if nothing's there, I can take off. He can take off. He's athletic. He can run. This isn't Tanner Lee.
But it's not a designed run, typically.
No, those runs against North Carolina State, he said, weren't designed runs.
Scramble.
Improvisation. Wow.
Hey, you
I
figured it out.
butchered it.
You got
Improvisation.
You got it right away. You fixed it immediately. That's good.
Yes. So
Improvisation.
easy. Yeah. Chuba Purdy made 1 start. North Carolina State beat Florida State 38-22. He was 15 of 23 passing for 181 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not bad.
54 rushing yards on 12 carries.
It's not a bad game.
No.
Not a bad game at all.
No. But, he had injury issues at Florida State, and here he is.
Well, I'm curious about this for the fans too. Okay, if you are like, I believe most people, not saying that everyone says this, but I think most people, again, view this as Casey Thompson's job to lose.
He's the favorite,
right?
yeah.
He's the favorite. If you hear reports in the fall of him getting surpassed by somebody, whether it's Chuba Purdy or Logan Smothers,
Mhm.
does that make you optimistic about where this is going, or concerned, saying, oh, great, our guy's not even good enough to start?
I'm open-minded.
I'm curious where fans are at. 402-464-5685. If you hear that Casey Thompson does not come out of fall camp as the clear starter, and it's because Chuba or Logan have made it interesting, or is that because Casey didn't play that well? Where do fans come out at in terms of their belief and confidence in that spot?
Oh, I think you got to keep an open mind. I mean, what I think is Nebraska's in an – tell me I'm wrong on this because I've written this. I wonder what people think. I think Nebraska's in an enviable position at quarterback right now. They have 3 quarterbacks who have started games. They appear to have 3 capable starters. Now, there's a lot of teams that probably have that, but more teams don't than do, right? You could probably point to a lot of teams in the country that could say, yeah, we have 3 guys who have started. I don't know how many actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many teams would have 3 guys who have had starting experience.
Right, actual experience. There's a lot that would say, yeah, we have 3 guys who are capable of starting. Nebraska has 3 guys with starting experience. That's a good thing. God, that is something that's probably not talked about enough. They're in good shape in the quarterback room, and we don't even include 2 other scholarship quarterbacks in this conversation, Heinrich Haarberg and Richard Torres. I mean, they're as scholarship quarterbacks, especially Haarberg, they should be close to ready, right?
Yes.
Not Richard.
Yeah,
Richard.
Richard.
Not Richard. I mean, didn't participate
Haarberg
in it.
Should be.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
Should.
Now, quarterbacks develop at different rates. Heinrich, Logan surpassed Heinrich in development. That doesn't mean Heinrich can't make a move himself at some point. It's just that right now, Logan is ahead of Heinrich. Doesn't mean it's always going to be that way.
Oh, and we saw that he was capable against Iowa. I mean, Logan did not play a bad game against Iowa last year.
No, he played good.
Nebraska
he played well.
Was leading by 15 at one point with him at quarterback.
Right. You wouldn't say it was Logan's fault that they lost that game.
No, it wasn't his fault they lost.
Logan Smothers played well enough to beat Iowa.
Yes.
An Iowa team that incidentally won 10 games.
Somehow. From the text line, before we get to Bob, 402-464-5685, to my question about if you hear in the fall that Casey Thompson is not the clear starter by the end of fall camp, is that are you nervous or are you optimistic about the other guys? Cole says, I'd be nervous. Sheila says, may the best man win. Josh in Chicago says, well, they brought both quarterbacks into Lincoln for a reason, so I'd hope there would be some competition at this point in the fall that I expect.
I'm all for the competition. I always lean that way, understanding there's some cases where you're just not going to have it. It just makes too much sense for Adrian Martinez to be the guy, right? I mean, unless Adrian Martinez would have faltered last August badly, he was going to be the guy, right?
Yes.
Coming off of the 2018 season, he was going to be the guy.
Oh, no doubt.
And it made sense. That made sense. Didn't mean there wasn't competition, but I get all these situations generally are different. Not all situations are the same. I'm not always going to say there should be a hardcore competition in August, but in this case, I think that Purdy and Smothers deserve a look in the early stages of August camp.
The question is that going to be the case?
And if Thompson falters, if he doesn't come in and win the job, if he doesn't come in and do what he's supposed to do, then then I would hope that Mark Whipple and Scott Frost will be open-minded and say, we got to look at this. That's what you hope.
Let's get a call from Bob on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Bob, you're on an early break. Go ahead.
Well, heard from the beginning when Casey came in and that I said there was a competition. I always thought there was going to be a competition, and everybody was ready to hand it to Casey, and I kept saying, well, no, it's not. Don't hand it to Casey because he hasn't won it yet. I said that from the beginning, and I'm saying it now. who knows who's going to be the quarterback? I'm satisfied with any of the three.
Okay.
I'm still optimistic. I don't know why that everybody would be, if it's not Casey, we're done. Why? We got three capable quarterbacks and really a fourth capable quarterback. So, let it go. And whoever wins the job wins the job. We're still going to go. We can still go 12-0.
There it is. There it is, Bob.
We can still go 12-0. And if you don't think so, give me a reason why and who we can't beat.
All right, Bob. Thanks for the call.
Good job. Yeah, I think that's where we're
Bob
at.
still has it going 12-0 despite not knowing the
I
quarterback.
hope people don't get in their car, drive to work today, listen to us and say they're trying to stir something. No, we're not. We're not. I mean, I don't think Casey did enough at Texas where he should be able to come in and just say, I'm the guy.
Oh, he had a couple nice games, but it's not enough to say this is for sure the dude.
5-5.
Right,
5
the record
5.
speaks for itself, right?
Right. And then, I mean, he wasn't going to be the guy. They moved on from him, essentially. Now, Jake, I have written it. He definitely deserves to be in that one spot right now, based on his experience. But it's not written in stone.
Right. He goes into fall camp as the leader, but that's not something that's for sure going to be the case when you get to Ireland.
No, and it's not for sure going to be the case. I mean, he's got to keep proving it during the season, right? He's got Chubba Purdy healthy now. Chubba Purdy, I think what's happened is the Chubba Purdy conversation picked up steam because he practiced in pads the final 3 games of spring ball and then had a good spring
Yep.
game.
I was going to say, the spring game was big for him.
Yeah, he was not available to practice full go for all but 3 practices at the end of spring. So we weren't really talking about him.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden, there he was going 5 for 10. Not great, but pretty good.
Throwing a good deep ball.
Yeah, he threw a great 27-yard strike to A.J. Rollins, the longest completion of the first half. The way his presence was good, comported himself well. The players like Chubba. And if you're around Chubba, you understand. He said literally, now this would be mildly concerning to fans, I think, that he has to remind himself to dial in because he's a fun-loving guy. He likes to mess around. He's funny. Like when you sit down with him, Chubba's a super funny guy. Like he's got a great personality. Smiles all the time. He's just fired up. And you can see why if you were, you'd have to remind yourself sometimes, okay, Chubba, we got to work now. Okay. But he's obviously
my kind of guy.
Now, yeah, he's obviously though accomplished. Chubba Purdy, Jake, scored 10 touchdowns in 1 game in high school. Okay.
Scored.
He was the Arizona high school football player of the year. I mean, he was highly recruited. Number 6 dual threat quarterback in the country. Went to Florida State, picked Florida State over Louisville. He's very capable of dialing in. Became one of 5 true freshman quarterbacks in Florida State history to start a game. He knows what he's doing. And you got to watch him. Logan, it's interesting, the dynamics here. Logan is a quieter guy. Logan he's just a low-key operator. But he can operate.
He seems like to be the forgotten guy in the race, but
Yes.
he's the one who's actually started a game here before
Mhm.
and played well despite a loss. Like I said, they were leading 21-6 with him as the starter against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the problem. So again, everyone talks about Casey and Chubba because they're new. We haven't seen them really besides the spring game at Nebraska,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the leaders in the clubhouse, so to speak. But I bet Logan say, "Man, don't forget about me. I am not giving this job up like it's nothing here."
Yeah, I mean, Logan won't verbalize it that way because he's not that tight. But what Chubba said was this: I just wanted to keep working hard this summer. This is quoting Chubba directly. I just wanted to keep working hard this summer and showing the guys what I can do, and that I'm here and ready to compete. And I'm not just here to take a back seat to whoever's in front of me. Even though I have 4 years of eligibility, including this year, I'm in no way just sitting back. I'm trying to compete for the starting job. Now, people would say, well, yeah, duh. That's not what everybody says. I mean, Richard Torres told me the exact opposite. That he said he wants to use this year to learn, and that at this time, well, in the springtime, he said, then I'll start thinking about making a push.
From the text line 464-5685, someone said, of course they go to this question, who's going to be the first quarterback to transfer? I don't know, or how soon that would be.
Right. That could happen.
We saw back in the Riley days that Patrick O'Brien departed. Was that in the spring?
I don't remember.
He was clearly not going to win the job, and so he left.
It was in the spring, now that you mention it.
But then Tristan Gebbia, he left in the fall.
Right. Yeah, Heinrich. I mean, I don't want to do that. I talked to Heinrich this summer. I didn't get the impression that he was itching to get out of here. I didn't get that impression. No, I sure don't get that impression about Logan. No way you get that impression about Richard Torres. He's not going anywhere.
No,
yeah. I don't get the impression that either Logan or Heinrich Haarberg are itching to get out of here if they don't end up on the depth chart where they want. I don't hear that from them. It's possible. Everything's possible. Chubba and Casey, I mean, they already transferred once. They'd have to sit out now.
Yeah. From Faisal, this is how you probably should probably feel this way as a whole fan base here. He says, I don't really care who the quarterback is. Frost just needs to make it work with whoever.
Yeah.
As long as you win, we're all the same.
I go back to the good news scenario that Nebraska's in an enviable position, that you feel like they have three guys. If Logan went in, you wouldn't say, oh, we're doomed. You wouldn't say that. You saw enough of Logan against Iowa where you're not saying, oh, we're screwed.
What were his passing stats in that game? Do you recall?
No, not off the top of my head. I'm not a savant. Yeah. A savant is the word.
I know. I was letting you get there yourself.
A savant. You want to pull those up? He was good in that game. He gives you that threat as a runner that makes defenses think it's all about arm strength with Logan. It's all about arm strength. Remember, in that game.
Okay, what was bad? Okay, Logan Smothers in the game, 16 for 22. 198 and a pick. No touchdowns, but still. People say he threw the ball 12 times. It was 22 times.
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay as a passer.
24 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns.
With Logan, is what you're looking for is a jump up in arm strength. Because even late in that game, you could see the lack. Yep. They had to make some throws downfield, and it just wasn't. He doesn't have a lot of arm strength. And when you're getting in the Big Ten and cold weather games in late October, November, you got to have somebody that's able to grip that ball and whip it downfield, right? And that's what we're going to be watching. That's one thing we're going to be watching. We're also going to be watching them go under center. We don't know how often, but you're going to see that. Gabe Ervin talked about that. Obviously, you don't want to ask a kid how often you're going under center, even though I did, which was stupid. I shouldn't have. He danced around it fine. He goes, we'll be under center because we want to run downhill. And when you get under center, you get to set up those base blocks. You get the running backs got better vision, and we'll be under center. Now, how often? I don't know. More often than they were under Frost because they were hardly. I mean, no brainer because Frost was hardly ever under center in his offense, right? And we have established through Matt Masker that this is Mark Whipple's offense, right? Right?
Yes.
Are you listening to me?
I just heard you. Doc, D-O-C-K, he's a little bit of a wet blanket.
Spicy.
You know that. He's spicy. He's not wet blanket. He is a certain type of wet blanket, though, without the name.
Okay.
He says that's why in cold weather games in November and October, you run the damn ball, not throw the damn ball, which is probably going to happen for the 5th year in a row.
I couldn't agree more with Doc, but I don't know where we're going with that. Doc, I don't know. You tell Jake, you can always tell me if I'm wrong or if you think it's ridiculous to formulate that sort of thought. Mark Whipple comes from the NFL, not directly from the NFL. He was at Pitt last year, but he's coached in the NFL with the Browns and the Steelers, maybe somebody else. He knows you have to run. He knows you got to run the ball.
Well, you do it enough, though. You got to run it, but
I don't know.
you do it enough.
Well, then that dovetails into a sort of a innocuous discussion. What is how much? I don't know. I don't know how
If
how
you
much
have a
is.
hot running back, let him stay hot,
Right.
basically.
They have good running backs. That's my whole approach to that conversation is a coach is a coach. Good coach. A coach is a coach because he's charged to use his personnel in the best way possible, right? They have good running backs. You don't want those 4 or 5 running backs to go for naught. I mean, you have some guys that can play. You got to get them the ball. You got to use them.
Well,
Gabe Irvin's a 6'1", 250-pound downhill running back. All right. Jaquez Yant, 6'2", 245. Don't you think those guys make a lot of sense in the Big Ten?
well, they do, but so did like Dedrick Mills. Didn't get him the ball enough. I know he had
No,
injuries,
they didn't.
but he
They
was
didn't.
a guy that needed to get the ball more.
That
He
was
was a good running
That was
back.
a different offense.
I understand, but Nebraska, it's the same head coach, though.
I'm not dismissing Ramir Johnson in this conversation. I like the way he booms it up between the tackles for a little guy. 5'10", 185. Anthony Grant can get downhill and get some things done. Doc, I agree with you.
Well, they commit to running the football.
Well, here's the Jay,
Calling
come
run
on,
plays.
come on. You're smart. You watch more football than I do. You understand how it goes. Some of this is the way the season goes. If you're playing from behind all the time, you're probably going to be throwing all the time, right?
But can you run the ball earlier on so you're not necessarily
Right.
down?
Now, if you're up,
Yeah.
you want to
Then
see
run the ball.
Right,
Come on,
right,
bleed the clock.
right. You have a run-oriented offensive line coach now. What do you think Donovan Raiola would prefer to do?
Well, I'm sure he wants to run the ball.
Right.
You have a OC that had a prolific passing attack last year at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know.
Prolific.
But personnel dictated probably. They had Addison.
Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett.
Right. So it's dictated by personnel. I watched the film. Whipple showed that film of all the creative ways he could get the ball to Addison. He showed it at the coaches convention in Lincoln. It was creative as hell. There are 35 different plays to get Jordan Addison the ball. It was very creative.
Do you have that guy, though, in Lincoln?
Well, that's the
I don't
thing.
think
I don't
you
know
do.
if you do. And if you don't, then what do you do?
You got to call it more of a mesh.
Use your
or-
personnel
Yeah.
as best as you best see fit. Don't force it. If you got the guys to run it.
One last one from Doc before we get to break.
I'm losing my voice.
You need some coffee over
Yeah.
there. Doc says, commit to the run. That's the problem. Frost has a tendency to abandon the run, even if it is working.
It's not. I know. Okay.
That is frustrating as hell, and he's right.
Doc may have been on vacation last week. Frost has a tendency to move away from the run. Frost, Doc, is not calling plays this year. He's not calling plays.
See if the tendencies change at all.
Right. I think tendencies will change. Now, I don't know how they're
so.
going to change. That's what we're going to. That's part of
Let
the.
a running back cook. Let
That's
him
a
get hot.
part of the allure of the season, which is honest. It's honest.
16 days away from
Okay, it's
the
not
start of camp.
directly honest, but 16 days.
away.
Yeah,
I'll be here before you know it. Snap your fingers. Just
Yeah.
like that.
get your lake time in, because we're going to Dublin.
We'll be there. We will be there. Not in kilts. But at Guinness pints.
I don't know why I always
galore.
get uncomfortable with that kilt conversation.
You're not wearing a kilt.
I'm not.
I'm not saying you got to wear a kilt. You're not going to wear a kilt.
Okay, next up. Don't just say.
Yeah,
the-
more next.
No, do not say that. What is next? Oh, you have a harebrained idea. Go ahead.
Yes. Is there any chance the SEC would try to go coast to coast like the Big Ten? Next, early break in the ticket.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay. This will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
Take your next step and join us for a Discovery Day at Southeast Community College in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford. You'll get more information on the nearly 60 career and technical programs we offer, what financial aid is available, take a campus tour, and see our new buildings, and talk with actual students and faculty. We'll even buy you lunch. It's time to start thinking about what's next. For more information and to register, go to southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC. Your path to possible.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hey, Jen, thanks for letting me spend the night at your apartment so I can catch my early flight tomorrow.
No problem. I've got you all set up in the guest bedroom.
I didn't know you lived so far downtown.
Oh, yeah. I like to be where the action is. Hope you sleep well.
What was that?
Oh, that's just Mr. Farron upstairs. He always lifts weights around 11 p.m. You get used to it.
And that?
It's the Polka Club across the street. I find the music soothing, don't you?
If you'd like to spend some time where the action is not so loud, enter the Nebraska Lottery's Your Park's Second Chance promotion. Until August 23rd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska State Park scratch ticket for a chance to win a 2-night stay in a gorgeous cabin at one of our scenic and very quiet state parks.
Dance with me, my darling. I'll wear my lederhosen around the barbecue.
Jen?
Mr. Farron likes to sing, too.
Scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 88,000.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Nathan Brennan.
Let's take it a step further. If Nebraska wins the division, that means they go to the Big Ten Championship. They win the Big Ten Championship, that means they go to the playoff. They go to the playoff, now we're cooking with gas. I don't agree with you. I don't know what to tell you. That's ridiculous.
Weekdays from 3 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode.
They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here's a question for you, Sip. Does the Southeastern Conference need to be fully Southeastern teams in the United States of America?
No.
The
Notre
Big Ten,
Dame.
the Big Ten does not say anything about a region. It is typically in the Midwest, but obviously goes east. Now it goes west to California.
Mhm.
There's nothing in the name that says the Midwest Conference.
No, it
The
doesn't.
SEC stands for, of course, the Southeastern Conference. As we talk about conference realignment
Yeah, I'm listening
and
to you.
super conferences,
It looks like I'm
here,
not, but I am. Go ahead.
do you think the SEC would try to go coast to coast like the Big Ten? Would they want a team from out west? I mean, they right now Texas, Oklahoma are the farthest west that they go. That's the Midwest. It's not west like Arizona, California, all the schools out there. They go as far west as Oklahoma and Texas. Is that the furthest west they will end up going to make the SEC still southeast?
Well, yeah, I'd say number one, yes, it's the farthest they'll go.
Okay.
Number two, why did you think of this? What were you just? Did this just was this a
It's-
lightning
it's
bolt?
It's a summer topic.
Okay, you didn't read anything.
No, I didn't read anything at all about
That
it.
would
This is
suggest.
well, again, I don't know what the goal is of the SEC in terms of teams. How many teams do they want? What is the ultimate super conference for the SEC?
Yeah, I think we're talking about 20.
Okay.
I think maybe a shade over. I think that's. I mean, when we talk about this notion of 2 mega conferences, I guess we're saying 2. I don't totally buy into that. Why can't there be 3 or 4? I mean, why can't there be 3 or 4 super conferences? 4.
Well, you already
Why
had
can't
you
there
already had a it's weird because you had a Power 5, and so you're just going to take away one conference basically then.
Right.
To make 4 super
You're
conferences.
taking away the Pac-12.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what you're doing. That's what I think's happening. I mean, couldn't the ACC add a couple teams and call themselves a super conference?
Sure.
People are going to say, wait a second, though, if the SEC is going to be a super conference, they're going to get some ACC teams. Right? True. Florida
Yes.
State.
Yes.
Miami.
But if the ACC wants to be a super conference and entices those teams to stay because there's, legal ramifications here, right?
Mhm.
Contracts and such, as we talked about all last week.
Yeah, 2036.
Right. So how easy is it going to be leave? You can't really leave that easily. So
Right.
you might be stuck.
So back to your question, would the Southeastern Conference expand toward the West Coast?
Why wouldn't they want to look at Oregon?
I don't know why. I mean, Oregon could play in that league.
Sure, they could.
They could. Oregon's equipped. Phil Knight's equipped. I get it. I get your hypothetical. I don't see it happening, though. The Big Ten made a good move about 10 years ago or 11 years ago, whatever it was, when they just named the conference. They had the logo B1G. Big. No geographical references.
Exactly. It's not the Midwest Conference. It's
Not a certain number
Which
of
is
teams.
big, which
Hey,
is
by the
big.
way, not a certain number of teams.
Nope.
Just big. That was somebody in the offices made a great call on that. Now, I don't know what you know what I've noticed. Tell me I'm wrong on this. Realignment, expansion talk kind of died down quickly.
Well, yeah, USC, UCLA make the move to the Big Ten 2 weeks ago. And then there's rumors galore about what's next. And you're right. This weekend, nothing.
Nothing.
You thought there might be some dominoes. I thought there might be some dominoes that would fall, but that's all that has happened. Now, you still believe that the Pac-12 teams that are still left are probably looking at something here. because the Pac-12 does not exactly feel like it's on stable ground at this point without those two teams that have left for the Big Ten. But
Yes.
you wonder where they're going because you've heard the Big 12 is curious about them. The Big Ten might look at some of them possibly, or a couple. But I'm just saying, why is the SEC forgotten all this?
Okay. The Vegas Bobcat chimes in. There's always a little bit salty. Going back to the
expected.
Going back to the 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, by the way.
This is still the 6 o'clock hour, though.
Yeah, going back to the first segment.
Okay.
I'm a little off today. Going back to the first segment. If you think Frost won't call plays, I'll sell you my oceanfront house in Vegas for $1. There's no oceanfront. But I understand what you're saying, Vegas. Regarding this topic, the Vegas Bobcat said the SEC already has Mizzou and Texas A&M. Those are already outside of the Southeast.
Right. I'm saying would they go coast to coast though? Oregon would be the coast. Why? The Big Ten's going coast to coast.
I think you're overthinking. You know what though? It's not a terrible premise. I wonder. You make a good. Is there somebody other than Oregon?
If I'm at the SEC, Oregon is very enticing to me. I'm intrigued by Oregon.
Everybody's intrigued by Oregon because of Phil Knight.
Well,
because Phil Knight could fund the football program himself. I mean, so everybody's intrigued by Phil Knight.
I don't think Oregon would want to go to the Big 12. Big 12 is
no.
It is the Big 10 or it's the SEC, right? Or I guess maybe the ACC.
You never hear them attached to the. You never hear Oregon attached to the South.
I know
Southeastern
you don't.
Conference.
It doesn't make any sense geographically, but guess what? Neither does USC and UCLA to the Big 10.
Mm-hmm. Oregon to the Big 10 makes sense to me. Washington to the Big 10 makes sense to me. But last week I was hearing that the Big 10's not interested in them. I don't know if that is accurate. That is one source who said, be careful with that talk. We know this. The list of teams the Big Ten still desires is small because Trev Alberts told us that. All right. Trev Alberts, the Nebraska.
Notre Dame is number one.
I would say numero uno, yeah. But as Michael DeCourcy of the Sporting News pointed out, what if Notre Dame said, we'll come, but we're not bringing football. We're staying independent in football. No go.
It's not going to
no
work.
go.
That's not why we
the
want
Big Ten will say no go.
You're missing the whole point, Notre Dame. Football is important here.
Yeah, and everybody knows what's going on now. People are writing it. You're seeing it come up. You're hearing it come up in conversations more. Everybody knows that the networks are running this, that they're the czars. College football has people leading it.
Unnamed czars.
Yeah, behind the scenes at ESPN and Fox mainly. Right?
Yeah,
right.
That's the two.
Yeah, that's who's leading. That is who is leading us down whatever path we're going, which we're not even sure. And I'm telling you, it has gotten quiet on that front. It should kick up because media days are coming. Various conference media days are coming. If something's going to happen, maybe it happens before media days. Big Ten media days is when?
July 26th and 27th in Indianapolis.
Isn't that interesting? Nebraska players report the 26th.
Yep.
Start practicing the 27th. So Frost will bring 3 players to Indy.
Yep.
They will head back and start practicing.
Back to the field, baby. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Summer's over.
What's next? Don't say more next.
When we come back, song of the day, as always. And Armand Gates, SIP, is headed west. How do you feel about the chances of Hoiberg attracting a decent assistant coach to that spot in their current predicament? Next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Now through July 20th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, and feel spectacular in the judgment-free zone with the most energy you've had since
Kindergarten when we had daily naps?
Exactly. And in our clean and spacious clubs with tons of equipment, you'll feel confident. Like after
I've carried in all the groceries in one trip?
more like, wait, that's exactly what it feels like. Join at planetfitness.com or in club. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Hurry. Deal ends July 20th. See club for details.
Hey, Jen, thanks for letting me spend the night at your apartment so I can catch my early flight tomorrow.
No problem. I've got you all set up in the guest bedroom.
I didn't know you lived so far downtown.
Oh, yeah. I like to be where the action is. Hope you sleep well.
What was that?
Oh, that's just Mr. Farron upstairs. He always lifts weights around 11 p.m. You get used to it.
And that?
It's the poker club across the street. I find the music soothing, don't you?
If you'd like to spend some time where the action is not so loud, enter the Nebraska Lottery's Your Park's Second Chance promotion. Until August 23rd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska State Park scratch ticket for a chance to win a 2-night stay in a gorgeous cabin at one of our scenic and very quiet state parks.
Dance with me, my darling. I'll wear my leader hosen around the fire big nugget.
Jen?
Mr. Farron likes to sing, too.
Scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 88,000.
Registration is now open for all fall sports leagues through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult volleyball, kickball, softball, and youth NFL flag football. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more, or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before July 24th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
After the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Like the Bowmans, you too can make your dream home a reality. Call us at 423-6811 or online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The new 18-hole course is now open at Adventure Golf Center. You knew them before for their 36 holes, and now experience a brand new style of miniature golf with par 3s, 4s, and 5s. It's a new concept to the Midwest with holes longer than before and unique hazards throughout the course. And it's fun for golfers of all ages and skill levels. Plus, there's a bar on the course that serves alcohol. Try the new 18-hole course today at Adventure Golf Center at 56th and Old Cheney.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's a man who leads a life of danger. To everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, another chance he takes, odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they've given you a number and taken away your name.
From 1966, that is Secret Agent Man by Johnny Rivers. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Oh, be careful what you say, or you give yourself away. Odds are you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man, they've given you a number and taken away your name.
Once again, your Song of the Day, Secret Agent Man by Johnny Rivers. 464-568-51 is bad. 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Oh, that sounds good.
There we go. That's all I got for you.
All right, that's good.
Time
Thank you.
limit there.
Thank you for getting that guitar in. That was good. That, you know what? That really helped at the end. That twangy little guitar little solo they had going there, Johnny Rivers. Ooh, now what did we do with that one? That was interesting. That was an interesting pick by you. That wasn't some stupid millennial song from the early 2000s.
Out of nowhere, wasn't it?
I'm so sorry I said that. Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Johnny Rivers. Johnny Rivers has some better songs, but that's a good one. No way I'm giving that a low grade because you surprised me. And it's a good song.
I could name another Johnny Rivers song.
Well, we'll do that in a second. I'll give that. I mean, because of the surprise factor and it's a classic, and 1966 was the year I was born, I would give that a 8. 8.0.
That's so weird.
8.0.
Now we got to guess Gus's score.
Would you
here.
please give him the proper introduction?
We are joined by Gus, our EP, executive producer, for those who know what that means. Gus, let's see, we got to guess your score. I looked over there for a second and Gus, I don't know if he was laughing, but he had a different look on his face, so I can't imagine it's that high. I don't think it's that low, though. Gus rarely goes to a 5. He's never like right down the middle, but I will say 5.5 from Gus today on Secret Agent Man. Yeah, what's your guess, Sip?
Higher. Gus has got a good personality. He has an old soul. He liked that song. That's a Gus song. He gave it a 7.6.
I gave it 6.5.
Right in the middle of us,
But it's like a good 6.5. It's like, I thought it was a bad song, but it's like, oh, sorry. Yeah.
There you go.
1 second. I don't want it to feedback. I thought it was a bad song, but it's like, it's weird. So it's like a good 6.5.
I thought it was a weird song.
I don't,
Is there a bad
that look,
6.5?
I was like, not sure how to rate it. I was kind of had a confused.
It's really
look going
old timey,
on, but
right?
It's okay.
There's some Johnny Rivers. Thank you, Gus. There's some Johnny Rivers songs that you will recognize. I don't know if Gus would recognize.
Give me a Johnny Rivers song.
Okay. How about You've Lost That Love and Feeling?
That's not Johnny Rivers.
Oh,
no.
You're right. And it is, but it's not that
What's
song.
the band that sings that? I should know.
Yeah,
that.
it is Johnny Rivers, but the subtitles, and I Know You Want to Dance, so it's not that. Okay,
Okay.
what about Poor Side of Town?
Don't know that one.
There is one you will know. You will know this one. Mountain of Love.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I don't feel bad. These are from the 60s. Like, I don't know. I don't know all those songs.
Okay. There is a great song that Johnny Rivers sang that I will play for you during the break, Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu. That's
Seriously?
that's a great
Rocking
song.
Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to know that song.
I think your dad is probably texting you saying he knows these songs, and he definitely knows Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu.
He's also 61 years old, would be alive when that came out. Those songs aren't anywhere anymore.
He sang the song Memphis.
There's no way that Secret Agent Man is not the top song for Johnny Rivers in terms
There
of
is a way.
downloads.
Poor Side of Town might be. Mountain of Love might
If I
be.
went to Spotify right now and it lists the top downloads for songs,
Could you do that for us, Gus? Gus?
Look up Johnny Rivers.
Gus?
And I'm going to bet you that Secret Agent Man is his most downloaded song.
I'm going to bet you that it's not.
We'll get a report.
I'm going to bet you that it's not number 2.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Textures. Do you know any songs that Sip just mentioned besides when I played Secret Agent Man by Johnny Rivers?
Chris
none.
at the Baldwin shop.
Chris is old enough to know those songs.
And his friends and your dad, your father, 61, would know Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu. Yes. They would know Mountain of Love no matter what. Memphis is a great song.
And the Boogie Woogie Flu.
Memphis is a great song. I will play.
I know Walking in Memphis.
No,
by Mark
That's
Cohn.
that song's unfortunate compared to this one. Okay, now listen. When I play these songs for you on the break, you'll say, "Oh yeah, I've heard that."
I'm sure I like the sound because he's got a good sound.
No, you will say, "I've heard that."
Gus has a report for us.
Gus has a report.
All right, Gus, what is the report on Johnny Rivers?
Yeah, it's easily Secret Agent Man. There's two different versions of the song,
Yeah.
and they both have 6 million plus downloads or plays.
What's second? What's third? I guess then, Gus, behind those two. And how many downloads for those songs?
It's a Swaying to the Music. It has about 6 million, and then the next one is Do You Want to Dance, which has 4 million.
The ones you mentioned at all. Point, Jake.
Yeah. I wonder if Secret Agent
was
Man was
Ace.
on. Was that a soundtrack song?
Yeah, it was a show called Secret Agent on CBS.
Okay, that's probably
what it's
explains
from.
all the downloads.
Yeah. Well, is that right? How about the fact it's the most recognizable song by
Okay,
Johnny Rivers?
you got me on this one.
Yeah, because there's the soundtrack version, and then there's the song from like an actual album. They both have like 6.5 million.
Gus, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Gus. That was good research.
Good
Well
job.
done. And once again, I was right.
You were right, Jake.
Come
You were
on.
right.
I've
I'm
never even been a competition.
Are you
there.
hearing from your dad?
No.
He's not
he hasn't
listening.
texted. Maybe he's asleep this morning. I
Yeah.
don't know.
What are you hearing from the people?
Sip just showing his old age from Thomas and Lincoln.
Yes.
Sean in Omaha says, I've never heard of those songs that Sip just mentioned.
There's plenty of older gentlemen and older women listening that would say, I've heard of all those songs.
Wet Blanket says, yeah, Mountain of Love's a great one. And I have had the Rockin' Pneumonia on the Boogie Woogie Flu.
Yeah. Okay.
Jennifer says, I know the wrong side of town.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer.
John says, I only know Secret Agent Man. Sip.
Is that John from Des Moines?
Nope, different John.
Hello, different John.
UNL student Cole says, I'm 19. Who are these people?
Yeah, I got it.
Same with Gus.
Yeah, wait till I play Rockin' Pneumonia and Boogie Woogie Flu for it. You'll love it. I know you. You'll love it. It's a great song. It's a great song,
Okay.
and you've heard it. You'll say, yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Okay. Before we get to break, Armand Gates out of Nebraska is going to Oregon.
Right.
Nebraska assistant basketball coach
Yeah.
Armand Gates.
Armand Gates worked with the guards. Armand Gates, hired by Tim Miles in 2018, worked with the guards involved in game planning. Never had his name attached to a single recruit at Nebraska. Armand Gates leaving to coach with Dana Altman at Oregon. Timing was a little odd. They would have preferred this stay under wraps because there was a few days left in a recruiting period. So it made it kind of awkward. People wonder timing. Well, the time this job has probably been locked in for maybe a period, not announced until now because of this recruiting period. It probably would have been announced shortly after the recruiting period ended. Anyway, I don't know. It's a loss. It's not a gigantic loss. Obviously, he's a third assistant on a 9-50 team that went 9-50 in the Big Ten. What more do you say? Right.
Yeah,
it was sort of out of the blue.
Crying over here.
It was sort of out of the blue on Friday afternoon. I wouldn't call it a Friday afternoon news dump because there wasn't a news dump. It was just Robin Washut of On 3 hearing this news and reporting it before anybody probably wanted it reported. So it wasn't a Friday afternoon news dump. This wasn't announced, and it wouldn't have been announced probably for a few days. So Armon Gates leaving. Fred will have to find a coach. My guess is he's already along in the process.
Probably so.
Yeah. So there you go.
Don't have a name for
I'm
it.
going to play some songs for you.
Yeah. During the break, I will listen to some Johnny Rivers songs. I'll report back the thoughts.
Okay.
Top of the hour next on an early break on the ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The new 18-hole course is now open at Adventure Golf Center. You knew them before for their 36 holes, and now experience a brand new style of miniature golf with par 3s, 4s, and 5s. It's a new concept to the Midwest with holes longer than before and unique hazards throughout the course. And it's fun for golfers of all ages and skill levels. Plus, there's a bar on the course that serves alcohol. Try the new 18-hole course today at Adventure Golf Center at 56th and Old Cheney.
Bagels & Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Please enjoy these next few moments of relaxation from Scott and Greg at Mendoza Family Insurance. If you would like to feel this relaxed about your home, auto, business, life, or commercial property insurance, please give Scott or Greg a call today at Mendoza Family Insurance.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Problem gambling can destroy an individual's finances, relationships, physical, and mental health. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour, and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
In your busy life, very little is free, but your next home might be a bit less than you think with a free appraisal from Security First Bank. Free home appraisals from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 on secondary market new home purchase loans only. One free appraisal per transaction. Appraisals paid for by lender at closing. Subject to lender qualifications. See lender for details. NMLS number 505011.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Dana Trucking. Learn more and apply today at danatrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility this morning. Then by this afternoon, clearing with a high of 87, much more comfortable than what we saw yesterday. North wind's a little breezy, gusting 25, close to 30. Overnight, mainly clear with a low of 62. And tomorrow, a very typical July day with an afternoon high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Registration is now open for all fall sports leagues through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult volleyball, kickball, softball, and youth NFL flag football. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more, or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before July 24th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money, but like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Monday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, fun show so far. Check out the podcast at theticketfm.com. During the break, Sip did play a few Johnny Rivers songs for me, and I will say I didn't really know any of them, but I did like the sound of them. I still stand by what I was correct with, that I knew that the most downloads would be on Spotify with Secret Agent.
Yeah, you were right. So we played Memphis, Tennessee.
That one was okay.
Yeah.
The first one was the best, the Boogie Woogie Flu one. Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu.
Kaz, our friend Rick Kaczynski, texts in, hey, boss man. Hey, boss man. Memphis was a cover of a Chuck Berry tune. Okay. If you weren't Joe Greatest Hits, you would probably know that. Yeah, I'm a little bit that way. Radio oriented.
Yes.
Rockin' Pneumonia and Boogie Woogie Flu. You like that song, right?
That was a good one. Yeah. I did enjoy that song.
That's good. Yeah,
but it wasn't as good as Secret Agent Man, though.
So good job by you. You played a song that spurred conversation.
I played a song from the 60s today.
Yeah. You know what? I forget. I'm not going to bring this up because if I bring it up, you won't do it. There's a band.
Wow.
There's a band from, I believe, the 90s. I think it was signed on Madonna's label or signed by Madonna. Candlebox. Have you heard that band?
Candlebox, I believe so.
Some hard rock.
I could not list you a song.
Don't be misled by Madonna. Well, look into some Candlebox. Candlebox is excellent. It's hard rock. Oh yeah, excellent.
What's the comparison for them?
Hard to compare them. That's the thing.
Candlebox is the band.
Yeah, probably kind of a cross between kind of a poor man's Pearl Jam and Breaking
Songs.
Benjamin.
Far Behind.
Yeah, Far Behind's their hit.
You, Cover Me, Change. They don't ring a
Far That's interesting. That's interesting that you wouldn't have heard of Far Behind.
I mean, maybe as I can't listen to it right now.
Yeah,
but
let's not.
It
do
doesn't
that.
sound like a song that I know.
Yeah, that's a song. That's a band that doesn't come up very often. But when I hear them, I'm like, this band should come up more. And I thought for sure that band would take off, and it never did. All right, let's talk about football. There's a good topic. You have a good topic.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
It's sort of a bizarre topic.
No, it's
but go ahead.
timely, though, because of what happened on Saturday. 402-464-5685. Call or text, as always. I told you guys to start the show that I played golf this weekend. played golf on Saturday with Jay, our friend Jay Foreman here. Be here in about 45 minutes from now. And we played at Woodland Hills out in Eagle. Just got paired up with two different guys who happened to be Iowa fans. They were not annoying. They were not obnoxious. They're Iowa fans. And we were talking about the difference between Nebraska and Iowa. And we already know what this is, Sip, because I talk about it all the time on these airwaves. And they said, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing we see between Nebraska and Iowa right now, they said, this is what they said, that we develop our players better than you do. That was from an Iowa fan's perspective. That's also what I say, too, from Nebraska perspective, that Iowa develops their players better than Nebraska does by far.
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I'm going to ask this question we have discussed before, but I want to do it again because it was brought up this weekend, and I want to hear from you guys at 464-5685. When did being a developmental program become a bad thing?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm curious. Because everyone, again, I make fun of Iowa because their program is boring. It's a boring way of football, but I also respect the wins. I hate saying that because, I do not like Iowa at all. I don't like to cheer for them. I never will cheer for them, but I can't applaud their successes.
Oh, God. Okay, first of all, get the Take It Easy button ready. The song Take It Easy.
Ready.
There's a lot, when I saw this, there's just some things we have to talk through, okay?
Okay, let's talk through it.
First, this notion of a developmental program. I've never heard a coach in my 30 years of covering football say anything about that is a developmental program. We want to be what's a developmental? Alabama developed players.
They have 5 stars, though. Developmental is a program that doesn't exactly get the highest accolades of stars at a high school, but they develop them into star players.
Do you think Iowa's recruiting approach is we're not going after high star players? We're not going after good players. We're going to get marginal players that we develop. Who has that recruiting approach?
They recruit well. They know what they want out of high school. They're not always the stars.
Do you think they go after guys that are lightly recruited on purpose?
They go after guys who I think they have high ceiling.
Adrian Claiborne could have went anywhere in the country.
That's one example.
There's a lot of examples. They don't actively say, we're just going to kind of hang back here. Don't just get that guy that has a Villanova offer.
No.
What is it Everybody's a developmental pro. Every program in the country is a developmental program. Everybody develops players. I told you it's going to get dicey.
That's fine.
Iowa. Now this is where take it easy.
I'm ready.
When you start yelling about this, you have to acknowledge something. You didn't allow fans like you didn't allow Nebraska to be a developmental program, because a developmental program is going to slide back sometimes when you don't have veteran players. Like Iowa, like your beloved Iowa Hawkeyes.
They're not beloved at all time. No.
Like your beloved Iowa Hawkeyes. During the period, for instance, when our friend Rick Kaczynski was there, he went there in 2005. They were 7-5. 2006, they were 6-7. They're a developmental program, though.
Okay, what happened after that, though?
6-7. Then they went 6-6 in 2007. Now, in this world, that head coach would be gone. You did not allow Nebraska to be a developmental program. Now you have the temerity to come on the radio and say it should be a developmental program.
Scott Frost is 15-29 and still the head coach in Nebraska.
I know,
7-5,
but you ran good coaches out of here. You wouldn't allow Bo Pelini to go 6-6 and 6-7. You wouldn't have not allowed. So you can't do this, right? You can't do it. Because if you're a developmental program, which I don't even know what a developmental program is, I honestly don't. But if you're going to sing that tune, you got to allow that program to slide back sometimes, which we don't do here. We fire coaches.
Has slid back for a long time now. We have moved past that notion being a reality. It's reality. Nebraska already slid back. They're in a funk right now. They've already dropped back.
Then you better if you're allowing them to be developmental, then you got to allow for 6-6. Okay, so back to when Kaz was there. 2000. Dang it, I lost it. 2005. 2005. 7-5. 7-5. 2006. 6-7. 2007. 6-6. Now 2008. Team got veteran 9-4. Iowa in 2008. You don't remember it. You're a little guy, but they could have beat anybody in the country at the end of the 2008.
I remember those.
2008 season.
Okay.
Then 2009 they threw an 11-2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But then they started to slide back because developmental programs, whatever those are, or we'll say Iowa's your beautiful developmental program, 8-5 in 2010 slid back, 7-6 in 2011 slid back, 2-12, 4-8. You got to if you're gonna ride with this developmental program notion, then you're gonna get that. What this is more about is expectation. It's about expectation. Iowa's expectation is we want Kirk Ferentz to field a team that plays very tough on Saturdays and doesn't beat itself.
What's wrong with that? Why can't Nebraska have that?
Nothing.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's great.
This is what you want, though, after you ran 9 and 10 win
Well,
coaches
you're allowed
out the
to
door.
be wrong. Again, when Nebraska hit rock
But you
bottom,
understand
they were wrong.
Do you understand
Fans
that
were
your
wrong.
credibility gets hit when you do
Well,
that?
guess what?
And then when you start getting obnoxious about what you want, it sounds pretty bad.
Well, Nebraska fans have been proven pretty wrong the last 6 years, haven't they? Yeah, this
don't
is a lot of crow eating time for Nebraska fans. A lot of crow is being eaten.
Yeah, it's
in the fan
it's getting
base.
eaten to such an extent that now you're wishing you were Iowa.
Iowa has won
After
9
you
of 10 games.
spent a lot of your life making fun of Iowa, now you're wishing you were
Right. Well, you know what? I can't change the last 7 years of time for Nebraska. That has been miserable as a football program for the majority of the time, besides 16 when they actually won 9 games. It's been a miserable 7 years of football. No one saw this coming. Yes, there's a lot of crow being eaten in the fan base. We've all been proven wrong that we probably were pretty haughty and expected that we were just going to be given that you run out of bed and you get 7 or 8 wins. That's obviously not true. It's not true at all. This has been a very rough period that we have been shocked at how long this poor play has lasted.
I will give you credit since I've gone after you a little bit.
I cannot attach myself from 7 years ago to present day me.
I'll give you credit for something. Okay. You are not recruiting ratings guy. In Iowa, they don't get into that.
No,
they're
because
not into recruiting ratings.
They don't care about of guys 4 or 5
Right.
stars. They look at their own way to look at guys and they say, well, that guy's pretty good. He is a 4-star. We'll get him.
So
But
you've made a move in your life that would allow you to tolerate a program like Iowa and Nebraska, and that is you stopped paying attention to recruiting
because they haven't
rankings.
mattered.
Right.
Nebraska has been the highest in the West for a lot of years in the rankings, and it didn't matter.
We don't have to go down this road of, oh, look at Iowa's recruiting rankings compared to Nebraska. Everybody knows Iowa's are way worse.
Yes, it hasn't mattered though.
Right.
They beat you 7 straight years.
Iowa fans don't care about that.
No,
they don't care. Now, but again, it's not that the Iowa coaching staff seeks players that are under recruited. They do understand that they're not going to get, there's certain players that probably aren't available to them, so they adjust accordingly. But they go try to find great players just like anybody else.
But they do a
does.
great job of finding hidden gems. Yeah, hidden gems. I mean, you're right. They don't want all those guys to be ones that aren't being recruited,
No,
but
they
they
can't.
do a phenomenal job at finding the gems. And so does Wisconsin.
Mhm.
The guys that aren't
I don't
highly
think
rated.
it's finding gems. I think it's finding players that fit their mentality, their culture, their systems.
Development.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, but
develop
everybody,
it.
when you do that, don't take this wrong, but it's annoying because every program develops players. Iowa hasn't cornered the market on player development. Everybody develops players. And that is a slight to Alabama for you to say, well, they just recruit 5-star players. You don't think they develop players at Alabama? They develop probably at a higher level than Iowa does.
I think these next 5 years or so will be very interesting because Iowa does not seem very interested so far in the transfer portal. They like guys doing the Iowa way. They've lost guys. They lost Charlie Jones. They lost Tracy, the receiver to Purdue as well. They lost Tyrone Tracy.
Right.
They don't seem interested so far in pursuing the portal to get guys.
I think what you're talking about more is expectation. I mean, you're suggesting that Nebraska not become a developmental program because everybody's a developmental program. I don't even know what that means. You're suggesting that Nebraska back off on a couple things. Number one, back off on expectation. Number two, don't pay such close attention to recruiting.
That's
rankings.
number 2 is more like number 1.
Because that's what Iowa. That's the situation there. You would not have allowed Kirk Ferentz to keep coaching in your previous life, Jake. You would not have allowed.
Don't speak for this current life.
No, you would not allow it though. You would have not allowed him to slide back to
well,
4-8 and 6-6 and 6-7.
They went 4-8 in 2012, I believe. Iowa did, and then they bounced back and were
with
successful.
an 8-5, and then
Right.
went 7-6.
They
He would not have survived that at Nebraska, right? And you would have been leading the charge to run him out.
Well, I would be. Me personally, I
Back
would
in the
have.
day. Back in the
Back
day.
in the day,
Yeah.
maybe. Well, guess what? I've been humbled, and so has this entire fan base. We've been extremely humbled.
Well, yeah, I know, but
To the nth degree, we have been humbled. Who would have ever thought in this program you get 5 years in a row without a bowl game?
I'm not sold on the notion that a lot of Nebraska fans, I understand where you're coming from, that they would desire to be like Iowa. I'm not sold on that. That their ceiling's pretty defined. I don't know if you want that defined of a ceiling at Nebraska. I'm not.
What is the ceiling right now?
Well, right now,
what
I
is the
get it.
ceiling anymore?
Right. But
pretty similar to what Iowa's is, I would assume. I mean, Iowa just won
so,
the Big
so
Ten
again,
West. Why
so
are we
aga-
slighting them at all?
So again, it's about expectation. Your expectation has diminished at Nebraska. Organically.
Well,
organically.
like Chris said, Nebraska's kind of a 4 to 9 win program, right?
That's what he says. I don't know if that's fact. I don't concede to that notion. I don't. This is largely about head coach. That's what it's largely about. If you get the right head coach, then I think it's almost unlimited what you might be able to accomplish.
Yeah. So
now, is Frost the right head coach? We're about to settle that matter.
Yep.
Okay. We're heading towards settlement in that. Now, maybe Frost is the right coach, and maybe this will just take off. And if it does take off, why would you want to put a ceiling on it? Why? It seems like Iowa has a ceiling. Why do you want a ceiling?
Iowa went 11-2 and 12-1, right? What they go? They went 12-2 one year, right?
No, they have
2015,
never won 12. Yeah,
Yes,
they did.
They were 12-0.
Yeah, 12-2.
They beat Nebraska.
Yes,
in
I'm
Lincoln,
sorry.
12-0.
I amend that. I've been wrong
and
today.
they were a minute
twice.
away from going to the playoff because they were up on Michigan State to the very end.
Right.
Lost by
2015, correct. 2015, they were undefeated in the
Yeah.
Big Ten.
Right.
12-2. Went to the Rose Bowl.
Lost, but still, 12-2 season, and they
That's-
almost went to the playoff. They were a minute away from going to the playoff at 13-0.
Mm-hmm. Pretty strong since then, although they threw a couple 8-5s in there.
Yeah, and 8-5 is terrible. Nebraska's hasn't got
Yeah.
8
Now,
wins in a long
again,
time.
once again, it sounds really repulsive when you say that because you were leading the charge to fire 10
I can't change what I said in the past. What I can do is say we've been humbled ever since then.
Okay.
So if you want to keep pubbling me about the past and my thoughts in the program, then that's fine.
Do you
But I can say
understand,
that
though,
no
that-
one saw this coming, though?
Do you understand why, though? It's defining. It's defined the Nebraska program that they did that Nebraska did that. It defined it. It just doesn't go away. I don't think it's as simple as saying, well, I was wrong. Because it led to where we are. So I don't know if you can casually just say, I was wrong. I'm changing my
What
tune.
was wrong? But I never thought it would lead to this much futility in the program for this
Played
extended
with fire, didn't you?
Right. And I think there's probably a lot of people that don't like Nebraska. They're just laughing. They're cackling, saying, you guys thought it was just easy. It was just, it just happened.
And they're cackling when you come on the radio and say, now you want to be like Iowa. I don't know, Jake. That's not a good look.
Well, neither is missing 5 straight bowl games, is it? While they've won 9 games plus pretty much
It's
the
not a
entire
good
time.
look, huh?
While Nebraska has slid to this, Iowa's been, pretty much up here. Pretty much
Can we
always a
stop-
ranked football team.
Let's continue to drill down on this conversation. Can we end this thing of this label of developmental program? I don't think Iowa do Iowa fans call themselves a
I just
developmental
talked
program?
to 2 guys that are Iowa fans on Saturday that said, yeah, we develop our guys better than Nebraska does. That seems to me like developmental program.
But let's take the term developmental program out of our lexicon. Because every program is a developmental program.
Just is Nebraska. Nebraska's taking.
Yes, they
chances right
develop
now.
players. We've had this conversation. They develop players left and right. There's example after example after example.
Some would say though that hey, you're
They're-
taking 15 transfers. Those guys have developed
Okay,
other
I don't know
places.
what. Whatever. What I would give you is, in this conversation, we did establish a few truths, and one is Iowa asks what Iowa fans want is a team that plays tough football on Saturdays, hard nosed, fundamentally sound, and doesn't beat itself. That's why those fans are patient with Kirk Ferentz. We haven't seen that.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. I desire that.
That
type of
is more the
mentality.
program that Iowa is, as opposed to this developmental program. I don't buy developmental program, but I buy that.
Okay.
And I think it's I think it's more about expectation than the label developmental program. I think this is about expectation. If you're an Iowa fan, you're not firing guys at 9 wins at 10 that win 9 games. Get it? What are you hearing?
464-5685. This is from Cirques. He says, I'm with Sip on this one. Developmental program is a made-up term. Everyone tries to develop.
Yeah.
We're just bad at it.
No, I don't think Nebraska's bad at it. Where I think Nebraska's fallen short is where Iowa excels. Nebraska beats itself routinely.
Yes.
Right? Nebraska stubs its own toe routinely. Nebraska gets itself in jams routinely.
Yep.
Iowa doesn't.
I told you that Iowa the last 5 years has 10 more picks than anybody in the country. Interceptions.
Right.
They take advantage of every opportunity.
What's Iowa's special teams look like to you?
They're phenomenal.
Right.
Great punter, great kicker, and great return guys.
I don't know that this happened at halftime of the Nebraska-Iowa game last fall, but I could imagine it happening. Guys, just keep playing. Just keep playing. Keep pressing.
Wait for them to
keep
mess up.
pressing. They will make a cataclysmic error. They will make some errors that allow us to get back in this game. And by the way, what did we work on this week, guys? What's that pump block? We got a pump block we hold a card that they saw something that Nebraska was doing in its punt game, and they knew they could get to the punter. And then how do you think that team felt when they knew they held that card?
And it worked.
And it worked. Now, what do you think those players think of the coaching staff, guys?
They're very wise and they know what they're doing.
Right. We picked up something, and then we executed it. And then did you see the energy switch in that game?
It was over. Nebraska led, but it was over at that point.
Yeah, you felt it was over. Do you know what that does for confidence in a coaching staff when something like that happens? Guys, we worked on this during the week. We saw something in there. When Nebraska punts the ball, we see something, and we can get it.
Yep. And they were right.
Then they got it.
And scored on it. They just block it. They returned it for a score.
Mm-hmm.
48 to break from Roz in Iowa, who is a Nebraska fan living in Iowa.
Okay.
Roz says, yeah, we are a developmental program. We take a 4-star and develop them into a 2-star or a no-star.
Easy, Roz. That's not true. There's too many guys at Nebraska that you can point to, one on the current roster. Jake, hold on. Don't laugh. You always say you want examples of development. What's Garrett Nelson look like to you?
It's been a good story.
Yeah. A developmental story. Right? Right?
Yeah.
What Amir Abdullah.
You're going to have examples on every team.
Because Nebraska's developed players.
But Iowa does it a lot better.
I guess.
Before we get to break, Danny
will
end on this one. Danny texting at 464-5685. Sip, you took an obnoxious pill this morning.
Did I
take that pill this morning?
Did I? Have I been obnoxious?
That's per Danny. I can't speak for Danny.
464-5685.
It just started up with a conversation with 2 Iowa fans at the golf course on Saturday. Turned into all of this here.
Have I been obnoxious?
Let the listeners decide that.
Well, I'm always obnoxious, so is it that much different?
More next, an early break in the ticket.
The new 18-hole course is now open at Adventure Golf Center. You knew them before for their 36 holes, and now experience a brand new style of miniature golf with par 3s, 4s, and 5s. It's a new concept to the Midwest with holes longer than before and unique hazards throughout the course. And it's fun for golfers of all ages and skill levels. Plus, there's a bar on the course that serves alcohol. Try the new 18-hole course today at Adventure Golf Center at 56th and Old Cheney.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Registration is now open for all fall sports leagues through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult volleyball, kickball, softball, and youth NFL flag football. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more, or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before July 24th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Yo, it's the captain, Rashawn Jackson. Join me this Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Pine Lake Road from 11 to 2 for your Husker sports talk and, most importantly, wings. That's Wednesday at Wingstop at 28th and Pine Lake, the official sponsor of the captain. Order wings ahead at wingstop.com. See you there.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting. Football season will be here before you know it, and you can get ahead of everyone else with the first annual Evening with the Huskers event at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill. Join 93.7 The Ticket and Husker Online's Sean Callahan for an evening with current Nebraska football players and surprise guests as they preview the season ahead. Enjoy cocktail hour and a delicious Wagyu steak dinner, as well as an open bar for the duration of the event, all for just $199 per person. Click the logo for the event at theticketfm.com to sign up. Don't delay, this will fill up fast. Don't miss your chance to meet and greet with Husker football players at Tanner's Bar and Grill and Tavern 180 in Lincoln at 30th and Yankee Hill. Sign up today at theticketfm.com using the Evening with the Huskers banner. It's an evening with the Huskers to preview the 2022 Nebraska football season at Tavern 180 and Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Presented by Husker Online and 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
From the text line during the break, 402-464-5685. The question going into break was Sip being obnoxious this morning, right?
Yeah.
That was the question. I'm just repeating what that was. Some response. Houston said yes, unequivocally yes.
Okay.
John says this, not just regular John, not John
Yeah.
Boyne. He says Sip needs to light a vanilla candle. Maybe turn on the black light so the Moody Blues posters lights up, and make a cup of tea. Relax.
Okay.
John.
All right.
All
right.
There's,
I'm open to that.
Someone else said the horse is dead. Sip.
Yeah. Okay. Houston is the brother of our former producer. Correct?
That's right. Harrison.
Harrison. Yes. He is his brother. Thank you for listening, Houston. I don't know. Yeah, I have been pretty obnoxious today. I think I have been.
You like being obnoxious. So. Well, we both can be obnoxious.
Real obnoxious.
It goes both ways here.
Real
It's not a one way,
Right. Street.
Obnoxious street here. Yeah.
Right. What else are you hearing?
Crowbait says Sip has an obnoxious pill every morning.
Yep, that's the first thing I do when I get up.
There it is.
Just laying out on the counter.
There's my obnoxious.
God,
pill.
I am obnoxious sometimes. But don't you want me to be obnoxious? Is that? I mean, don't you want me to be? Is that what? Isn't that what is good for us?
Les Lancaster says this.
Okay.
Is Sip obnoxious? Does a bear crap in the woods?
Don't you want me to be? What fun would it be every day if I came in here and was like Mike Wallace, just very, very straightforward?
That'd be boring. That would suck.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean, should we try to do a show where we're both just very vanilla? Just the
Very
facts.
serious the whole time.
Yeah, serious
Doesn't
vanilla.
sound like a very fun time.
Where we don't sprinkle in some very loud opinions. Very loud.
I'm not here to yawn in the morning here.
Yeah.
I'm here to, have some fun, have a good time.
I would now. Wouldn't you say today we had a good time?
We've had a good time. Yeah.
Show's not over.
It's not quite over yet. It's almost over.
It's 7:44 though.
It's almost,
It went
it's getting
fast.
there. Well, when you get talking
Time
about
flies when you're
Iowa,
being obnoxious.
That's right. You're talking to Iowa guys in the golf course and bring it to the radio, then time just happens to fly.
We are
after
going to
that.
remove that term though, developmental program. Okay. I was more than a developmental program because it suggests. Okay, I'm not doing this because
What if I polled like 100 Hawkeye fans? What's the question? Are you okay being labeled a developmental program?
you have to sort of, I don't know.
Yes or no question.
Yeah, you have to. That's sort of loaded. That's sort of a loaded question, right there.
How would you unload the question to make sure?
How would you describe your program? How would you
give them
describe your
options,
program?
or just they gotta?
I would say no options. Just see how many people say we're a developmental program. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Nebraska does get verbal commitment
Yes.
yesterday from edge rusher Ashley Williams of Zachary, Louisiana. This is a 4-star recruit. This is a 4-star recruit who picked Nebraska over Minnesota. It was pretty much down. Nebraska and Minnesota were probably the lead. Were in the lead. He took an official visit, did Ashley Williams, to Minnesota. So I would say this is significant news. This is the second edge rusher in the class so he joins Maverick Noonan. What's interesting is there's another edge rusher in their sights, but I don't think they can take 3. Okay. Because what do you tell? I mean, you got to be careful there, right? With Maverick Noonan. I mean, you take 3 edge rushers in a class,
well,
and risk angering the father, Danny Noonan, the legacy father. No,
we always say you can't have enough rush heads.
Oh, I think in this case you can.
How many times we said
so
that?
never
We
say
can't.
always. I'm just
we
saying.
say all the time though. You can never have enough pass rushers.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the coaching staff could go to Maverick Noonan and the Noonan family and say, "Hey, we might take 3 here." I don't know. I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know. I wish I knew. This is a Mickey Joseph recruit. Okay, Mickey Joseph recruiting on the defensive side.
Mm-hmm.
This is Mickey. This is not Mike
Mickey's a good
Dawson. This
recruiter.
is not the Mike Dawson choice. This is the Mickey Joseph choice. So that's just another thing that the head coach has to manage. Got to keep everybody on the same page. So it's interesting. They're up to 14 players in this class, in the class of 2023, probably going to 18 to 20 max. So they're winding up.
They're doing pretty well.
Now they have 3 4-star players in the class, which is good because there was a time when it was, I think, 10. They were all 3 stars.
We just pointed out that stars don't matter anymore.
Well, no. Don't say that, because what I always say is they're a data point. It's not everything.
Data point. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
fine.
data
I'll
point.
accept that.
You will not catch me saying stars don't matter at all. They're a data point. They're a reference point. Okay.
Yes.
Out of many.
Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. You have a winning record. I think you're 8 games above 500 right now. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, and if I get to 9 or 10 over, you think I'm obnoxious now?
Oh boy, watch out. Huh. Okay, today's topic is NFL running backs. What teams do these guys play for? Okay. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. 32 teams.
Yeah.
32 options. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Takedown Sip in trivia. How do you feel about NFL running backs today?
I feel just fine. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Well, I would get these all correct.
Okay.
So
yeah,
easy.
Would
Cole?
you?
Yeah. Cole, how do you feel about NFL running backs?
If they're current, I feel good.
They are current. This is not from the past. These
No,
are current running
I would have
backs.
Cole. I would have felt better if they were from the past.
Well, I'm 19, so.
Okay, is this Cole? This is the same Cole. Hello, Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cole. First question goes to you. Here we go. What team does running back Javonte Williams play for?
Oh, man. Broncos.
Denver Broncos is correct.
No, I did not know that.
You know what college you went to?
Texas Tech.
North Carolina.
Okay, same thing. Go ahead. It's really not.
Not the same thing at all. For the tie sip, first question. What team does running back Damian Harris play for?
Damian Harris.
You better get this, Sip.
Oh, the safety is in position.
Seattle.
Can I steal?
Here comes the safety. Locking in the quarterback. Cole, who is that? What team?
Patriots.
Oh, and there's a pick six the other way. 2-0 lead. Cole for the resounding 3-0 win.
Yeah.
Cole, last question. What team does running back Miles Sanders play for?
Ooh. Eagles. Oh, good.
And there is a victory. 3-0 blowout. Cole, you're the victor. We'll get you bagels. Thanks for calling in and call in down the
Zip,
road.
you got beat by a 19-year-old.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts, Cole.
He's laughing at you.
Yeah, I did. I got hammered by a 19-year-old.
Yep,
That hurts. That hurts.
Well done, Cole. Congrats, man.
Thanks.
Good job.
Shut up, Sipple.
All right,
There we
thank
go.
you,
There
Cole.
it is. You want another question?
Yes, please.
What team does running back Devin Singletary play for?
Bears.
That'd be the Buffalo Bills.
Never heard of it.
All right, last one. Since we're 0 for 4 today for you. Miles Sanders has played 3 NFL seasons. Okay, 3. How many touchdowns does he have?
Okay, if he's played 21.
Is at 12. 9 rushing touchdowns and 3 receiving touchdowns.
All right. Pretty bad performance
Not your
today.
best start to the week in the game show, but, there's always tomorrow.
I'm going to say this was a fun show, though.
It has been fun.
Yeah, it went fast. It went fast.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you for all the response.
Yeah.
All the viewers on Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And I have been more obnoxious than you today. Now, that's not every day, though. No, that's not every day.
Who's more obnoxious, me or Sim? 464-5685. Text in. Straw poll.
It's probably a pretty close horse race there.
It might be pretty close. You text in. I'll read the responses
Okay,
next.
thank you.
Spillover is next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Well, I'm an interior designer. A lot of builders don't have designers on staff. I'm included with our Aspen package and can make your home more custom to your taste, your needs, and your wants.
Rachel's our interior designer at Aspen Builders. She's one of the reasons that makes us really good at what we do. I'm Bob Benish, and we absolutely love how Rachel takes care of our clients.
I think the biggest challenge with building is a lot of clients are worried about all the choices. When they come in, they kind of have a deer in the headlights look. I like to ask people at the end, so what did you think? And usually they pause and they say, you really broke it up, kept it simple. We just did one meeting at a time. So I wasn't looking at all the decisions I had to make. I had plenty of time to decide things. You walked me through it all. It made it simple.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The 2022 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need you in Memorial Stadium this fall. A customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan is on sale now for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
In your busy life, very little is free, but your next home might be a bit less than you think with a free appraisal from Security First Bank. Free home appraisals from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 on secondary market new home purchase loans only. One free appraisal per transaction. Appraisals paid for by lender at closing. Subject to lender qualifications. See lender for details. NMLS number 505011.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
On the block with Strick and Bach.
He obviously played against MJ when he was with the Bulls. Could you tell when you guarded Wizards, MJ, that was different than Bulls?
I mean, he still was crafty. He still was very cerebral, still had great hands. So his post-up game and his mid, all that stuff was still efficient. You know, his actual pump fake game was even more effective. He just didn't have that same first burst.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility this morning. Then by this afternoon, clearing with a high of 87, much more comfortable than what we saw yesterday. North winds a little breezy, gusting 25 close to 30. Overnight, mainly clear with a low of 62. And tomorrow, a very typical July day with an afternoon high of 88. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Registration is now open for all fall sports leagues through Lincoln Parks and Rec. Adult volleyball, kickball, softball, and youth NFL flag football. Competitive and recreational leagues are available, so whether you're an athlete, a former athlete, or a wannabe athlete, there's a league for you. Plus, check out their paid opportunities for officials and referees. Contact Lincoln Parks and Rec to learn more, or head to teamsideline.com/LincolnNE before July 24th to register your team. That's teamsideline.com/LincolnNE.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This.
Well, good morning, little brother.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with DP and Jay Foreman.
See if Jay comes in hot.
He is here. But he's
DP
right there.
seems to be in a good mood.
Yeah, he is. What's it? It's a Monday. It's a fresh start to a new week, right?
I'm only here 2 days this week. So.
Oh, where's this week taking you to?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh,
Greensboro.
A couple of keynote speeches.
Never been there.
At a college and
You never been? Yeah, Jake, you haven't been a lot.
I like Charlotte. I told you guys I went to Charlotte last summer and enjoyed it.
You don't know Charlotte
No,
until you go with me and Jay Foreman.
Okay, yeah, I don't know your guys' version.
You need to come. Jake, you know what, Jay? We need to make that happen.
Where would you guys take Jake?
Yeah, where would I go that I did not go beforehand?
Jake and Diamonds.
Oh, boy. First,
Onyx. I would take Jake to Onyx. You ever seen Road Trip?
No.
The movie Road Trip?
Oh, so good.
That'd be Jake.
Oh, that would be Jake.
Jake would be an honorary Q dog by the time we get
Have
done
you
with
seen?
him.
Have you seen this?
No, I've heard of the movie.
Oh man, yeah, pretty good stuff.
Road Trip. Who's in it?
Tom Green played a peripheral role in it, but it was a bunch of
high school and frat guys, and one guy was going down to try to propose to his girlfriend.
He was trying to get a letter that he sent to his girlfriend one night. Like he broke up with his girlfriend and then woke up the next morning and realized it was a mistake. So he wanted to go to Carolina and intercept the record, but then
wait a second, intercept what?
A letter that he sent to her.
He's going to intercept it.
Yeah, because he broke up and he didn't really want to break up.
Interesting. That's a good concept for a movie.
So they drove all the way across the country
to get there before the letter.
So there's a nerdy guy.
There's Stifler. Remember Stifler?
Yeah,
I don't. But
Jeez.
You don't know
Cheese
Stifler?
what?
You don't know Stifler from
You don't know
American
Stifler?
Pie?
You don't know American Pie Stifler?
Yeah. So you had the
This
good
woman's
dude,
all
then you
over
had
the place.
Stifler, who's kind of he's the obnoxious one.
Okay.
Great scene with Stifler.
Yeah.
There's a really good scene with that one in there.
He didn't donate plasma.
Right. But they ended up in a black frat.
Yeah.
And one of them excels. It's the least likely one.
Okay.
And,
That would be you.
You think I'd excel?
Oh,
Yeah.
they
yeah.
would eat you up.
Good. Okay.
Who's they?
The sisters.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, sisters would eat you up.
Yeah. I'm sure they would.
Oh,
Where do you go with this, Jake?
Sorry, wifey.
Jake, where do
but
you go?
Statement of truth.
Jake just got that swag, man.
Can I
Yeah,
say?
they would
He's
look
got
at
more swag than you think.
they would look
Oh,
at
I
Jake.
know he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would look at Jake and it was like, oh, come
Hey,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
How did Jake play on the goal? How I hate.
No,
Why am I
no,
asking
me,
this
me and
question?
Jay and I are about the same.
I hate.
You could tell Jake grew up playing golf.
Hey, I tell you, Jay does not miss fairways.
Really?
Jay,
That's
I've got to give his
surprising.
compliments. Jay got screwed like 5 times on putts that were just lip outs. Like he could have had a really good round going.
Does he hit it? Does Jay hit it far?
Yeah, he's right
Far
there.
enough.
He's
In
in
the-
about
in the
275
fairway?
or so,
Not
probably.
far enough.
Really?
Yeah.
He rarely ever
It was
misses
early
the
though,
fairway.
man. That was early tee time.
In
And
the
then it
fairway.
then it slowed down a little
Yeah,
bit.
get hot and sticky. There.
Yeah. Then I couldn't finish.
Woodland Hills.
Yeah. He's the guy who won your scramble team for sure. He can hit always down the middle straight. Irons are good putter.
It was a young 20. The kid was what, 20?
Yeah,
It was his
that was
birthday.
his dad. You know, that was his dad.
Yeah, his dad. I thought they were brothers.
His
When-
dad looked like he was 30.
Didn't-
I thought he was the same
didn't
age as
have
me.
A gray hair on,
Yeah.
no wrinkles, nothing. So I was like, "Oh, 2 brothers are playing."
That's
right?
what I thought. I thought the same
I mean,
thing.
they walked past me. I was like, "Oh, that's cool, pretty cool. 2 brothers are out here. Just 2
That was
guys
his
playing,
dad.
right? Or 2. You could tell they favored each other. So I was like, "Yeah, that's the older brother, younger
Right.
brother."
I was going to text you. Did you know that those
Get-
guys
get
were
up
not
there,
brothers?
and he's like, "Yeah, it's my son's birthday." What? Like, dude, did
Hmm,
you
I'm
have a
telling you.
mistake at like 14? Like, did you just go from puberty to impregnating someone? Well, anyways, they're.
Anyway, he
and they-
looked 35 at the oldest, right?
at the most.
absolute max.
At the
I was
most. I mean,
shocked. He was 46
if I'm his son, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm Teddy Savalas because I'm gonna be 80, and people are gonna think, oh, that's a nice little 55-year-old guy. He was 20. It was his birthday.
That's right.
20.
Yeah,
20 years
just
old.
turned 20. It was pretty cool. I mean, he knew what he wanted to do. It's a family business, right?
Yep.
It's funny. They live in Omaha,
Ashland.
Ashland, and they're Iowa fans.
Yeah, I was telling. That's the guy.
Oh,
that's what I was
that's what-
talking about. The Iowa fans.
That's what spurred the
yes.
conversation.
I told you. Me and Jay are playing with some Iowa fans this weekend.
Jake's whole developmental program thing. Got it.
Yeah.
They
It's
told
all
us,
kinda
they
what-
told
I
us
mean,
they
it's a-
developed their players better than we
That-
do.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
They kind of. I mean, it just depends on what your
Yeah. Let's get
idea
into this.
of development is. I think obviously how long Kurt Ferentz has been there, 20 some years,
Yeah.
head coaching for well over.
He's 66. I think this will be 24.
You're right. So
25.
when he's kind of been through the lean times, and let's face it, nothing against Iowa. If they win 7 games, that's kind of equivalent of a really good season, or at least
I'm
had
sorry.
been. Up until recently, that was a really good season for them.
Kind of.
If you're not firing a coach after going 6-6 and 7-5, or
4 and 8.
4 and 8, he's had some. But Kurt Ferentz has figured out a way to, when he hasn't had a good season, to make it a really, really good season the next one, and then they've found a way, weirdly enough, to this is just my opinion, adapt to the new, rules or whatever of football, but still not lose their identity and recruit more efficiently. Because I think, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they offer every lineman out there. Say offensive lineman, Iowa can go anywhere and recruit them. Will they get the guys that end up going to Alabama and Georgia? Most likely not. But they have a pool of linemen just in their, state that they can develop in
region.
And then they do a lot in Chicago. And they just look, Illinois isn't very good, or at least up until recently. So they're able to go pluck what they want out of there, and they go different places. And, they kind of do it, kind of like, hey, they kind of copycatted Nebraska a little bit, even they won't admit it. Kind of, this is what we do it, or you're out of here. Now when you peel back the onion, obviously Iowa had some stuff going on that was kind of very funky. But I'll tell you this:
Or it wasn't funky enough.
it was real funky. I know firsthand. I have a kid that I trained that's there, and it was some stuff. But I'll tell you this though, they addressed the problem. According to his name is Justice Sullivan. He's a linebacker, kind of DN or outside
in the
linebacker.
program now.
Yeah, and he said they addressed it, and it was wholeheartedly. And his dad is tough, military. So if you can kind of get his dad to be on board, but when you think of development, then you kind of compare it to Nebraska. It's a little different because, when Mike Riley was here, when it was like come to practice as you want or whatever. I mean, that's
excuse me.
When Mike Riley, Grandpa Mike, nice Mike, hip was a hip hooray.
Yeah, hip hooray. Yeah.
When he was here, it was now this might be an exaggeration, but if we were in the dorms and we just say, "Oh man, we just aren't feeling it that day,"
you don't have to go,
right? And so you stymie yourself from that, right? Bo and those guys, I think, have developed players in some senses, but I think what Bo really did that was really, really smart, and this is where you like when you look at Whipple came in, Bo always had a bell cow on offense or two and one or two on defense, and everything else kind of fit around there, whether he wants to admit it or not.
That's
you
true.
Go all the way
That's
back
what it
to
was,
Mario Williams when he was DB heavy in the Big 12. Then you get the Randy Gregory, and then, of course, he had the House of Spears, and then, Jared Crick. So he always had kind of like a Batman and Robin, kind of like, which is smart, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're dominant players. Why, everybody else can play around them. And then, but he developed players as well, though. I mean, because
Amir was a developmental player.
Not necessarily.
He was. He came here as a corner, undersized, and by the time he left,
he had an Alabama offer, though.
Not to play running back.
Well, it doesn't matter, though.
Yeah, it matters. I don't think he had an Alabama offer, by the way.
No, he had an Alabama offer. It doesn't matter if you're a DB or a running back. You're going to Alabama. He comes here, and yes,
he was Auburn.
He was below. Was it Green? He was the third running back.
Yeah.
He was a late ad.
Yeah, he definitely developed.
But this wasn't a kid that was going to go to like.
He was a developmental story.
Toothpick State and come here, and then all of a sudden, now he worked his tail off. Yeah. Now, how much is that Amir? How much is that the weight coach?
I don't know, but to characterize him as anything but a developmental story would be false. He was a pure developmental story. He was an undersized kid, corner, and made himself into an all Big Ten running back.
Right, but
that's development.
But who did that though?
Well, whoever. He did it. Ron Brown did it. The coaches did it. Everybody. It's a team effort.
Right.
I don't put one guy in there.
Right, but he had to have something though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was good.
Right. So I mean, it's like. That's part of what you like.
He put a weight bench in his bedroom because he knew he had to get way bigger, and he got way bigger. I mean, I watched it. I was there.
Right.
He was a little dude when he came in here. Little dude. Then he got big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he knew he had to.
Sure. But that's what you're supposed. That's an individual choice, like to me. And when you develop, I mean, it's a marriage that worked out well. But, it's whereas Iowa, they can say, oh, we've done this with this lineman and all that, X, Y, and Z. It's just a little different how you look at it. It's just how you look at it.
Oh, I know it is.
It's just how you look at it.
I don't buy the term developmental program because every program's a developmental program. I don't buy it. Every program develops players. Alabama develops players.
Well, yeah, that's what your job is as a coach.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
why me and Jake butt heads on that developmental program thing.
Well, some people just do it at a higher rate than others.
Yeah.
That's correct. They do. Yeah.
But you just don't. But here's what people, when you just throw out developmental, that means you just like, people think like, well, here, I got DP. He doesn't want to do anything, but I forced him to do it. DP's only going to get as good as he wants to, and I help him to get there. He can come to me and say, okay, what do I need to do? Amir, I need to get bigger. Okay. Well, then let's figure out between Ron Brown, Amir, and opportunity, what we need to do and go from there. Well, if I have a plan for Jake, and Jake was like, man, I'd rather hang out in the dorms and watch TV. Well, he can't develop at the rate that DP did or as SIP does. It goes. Now, I will say this, like sometimes if you just have an individual plan, like the development for DP at freshman might be different than Jake as a sophomore. And how you do it and how fast you try to do it is different as well, because if you try to do it too fast, it sometimes doesn't work if it's a process to go through. That's why there's a whole thing is we're just reloading. You get what I'm saying? Every year guys are coming because they went through this developmental process. It's
Well,
practice.
a lot of that's mature, just basic science and maturity that a 17/18-year-old is not going to look like the 20 and 21-year-old. Just from maturity, body maturing. The kids that you send to
figure
college,
it out.
the kids you send to college. I mean, look, the kids you send to college aren't going to come back home looking the way you sent them. That's across the board.
Yeah, and how many players go in ready? I mean,
Like there
None.
aren't many.
But
and
there's been players that played for Bo that would look the same as freshmen as they look as seniors. I want you to I want you to look like Amir when you come in here and leave like Amir like when you left. That's what I want you to do. I want you to look like Grant Wisdom, 220, 25, and leave at 250. I want you. That's developmental. That's what you go. When you see Alabama, their defensive lineman, you might see him for like Jonathan Allen. I remember seeing him for like a couple plays. Like, oh yeah, he looks all right. Okay, then you see him for a couple series. Then the next year, okay, he's like a second or third team road. Next thing you know, he's the best defensive lineman in the league.
Well, I coached Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen was a tight end in high school.
Right.
So he developed.
He was a tight end. Well, I mean, he matured. He was the best athlete on the field, period. From the time he was a junior in high school till when he got to Alabama. But he was at 245 pounds versus the 270 that he ended up in during his freshman year at Alabama. He was a stand-up defensive end, which was unfair for high school kids in the state of Virginia to have to face Jonathan Allen as a stand-up defensive end. But as a tight end, there was nobody. Jonathan Allen would be an all-pro tight end if that's what he chose to do. So, look, development is the difference between deciding where you are and where you're going to get to. Most people don't play the position in college that they played in high school.
Right.
That isn't always the case. It doesn't mean they weren't athletic, and it doesn't mean that they didn't have the skill set. It just meant you had to match skill with program and mission.
And be open to it.
Yep.
I think a lot of these players aren't open to it.
He's a military kid, and right. So he was going to follow orders. Whatever you asked Jonathan Allen to do, he was going to do, and he outworked everybody. Like that was the other part.
That's the biggest part of development.
He outworked everybody. That's how. I mean, when the recruiting process for him happened, look, he had everybody at the door. LSU told him he could play whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. Alabama said, "No, come on board. Let's get you in here. We'll make you the best you that you want to be once you decide what that is."
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, you can even take Cam Jurgens. I mean, for the present time to develop him from a tight end or an athlete or whatever he played to go to play center, and now he's a second round pickup in the NFL
at
center. That's development.
Yeah. I think he put some running back at Beatrice too, didn't he, Jake?
I thought so. It's all about it's development. Majority of the time is an individual choice. It's an individual choice. Now, can you put parameters in soft quotes culture around it? Sure, but at the end of the day, like there's so many things that go into development. It's opportunity. Does a kid come in and be open to a position change? I mean, Prince came in as a running back. First round corner. I mean, that's just the way
you came in as a DB,
right?
Like
It doesn't matter if you're a Power 5 kid, you step on campus, dude, and you see two or three dudes ahead of you. You better get used to playing another position, and you better start working your tail off. And if you always worry about the kids that are maxed out, the player that comes in and he's like okay with it. A lot of these kids want to like, oh yeah, I'm really good in high school. I'm really good at 7-on-7. I need to be coming in and starting. If you pigeonhole yourself into a position at 18 years old, you behind the 8 ball. You better be Jerry Rice or you better be like Terrell Owens or Randy Moss or something. Because if not, you just a guy.
Switching gears, quick, off the top of your head, top 4 NFL quarterbacks right now. Playing right now.
Brady,
you
Mahomes.
go Brady number one. Okay.
Well, you're trying to rank them? I'm just going 4.
No, just rank them. Top 4.
Mahomes. I still have Brady up there. Josh Allen.
And then who? Then one more.
Aaron Rodgers.
Probably Rodgers.
Yeah.
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 I just worry about Aaron Rodgers in a pressure pack game. He just seems somehow, some way, he just doesn't work out with him.
I don't know if I put Brady top 4 right now. Still, I know he's still really good, but I'd go Mahomes,
Allen.
No, I think I'd go Rodgers second, then
Okay.
Allen. Allen's third. I mean, second or third, you can.
Yeah,
he's right there,
Yeah.
and then fourth.
I always look at a quarterback as if I'm on defense and he's on the other side, am I worried about losing? Tom Brady cut your heart out 100 out of 100 times.
Who's fourth? Like, would you go Wilson above
Russell Wilson? If
Herbert?
Russell Wilson
would be 5 on you
Russell
guys'
Wilson-
list.
Russell Wilson, if he is 2 years ago, Russell Wilson, you're in trouble, dude. I mean, he's just that good. And he's always done stuff with less. It'd be interesting to see how he does with Denver. Russell Wilson with less than 2 minutes left is hard to beat.
I saw Cowherd do. That's why I asked the question. I saw Colin Cowherd rank his top 10, and the fact he had Rodgers at 4 struck me. But after,
where would you? Is that too high or too low?
I thought it was too low.
Okay.
He had
He's really good still.
he had Mahomes 1, Allen 2, Brady 3, Rodgers 4, and I thought Rodgers is 4. See, I'd put Rodgers probably 2, but you guys are the more NFL experts. I'm just surprised he'd be 4. I'm surprised.
I mean,
you
you're
putting
talking
Allen? Are you sure you put Allen ahead of Rodgers?
I put Rodgers
right now,
second.
not career wise.
I put Rodgers right now better than Allen. He makes less mistakes than Allen does, but Allen is. I mean, he's third. He's still really
Yeah.
good. Like it's not like it's a huge gap. I'd put Rodgers second, Allen third.
You
But
can't.
you
Is
could-
there any scenario where you put Rodgers number 1?
Not right now.
Mahomes is the best.
Really?
No.
Mahomes is the best quarterback.
No, but I'm this way. If I have to win a game tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
it's Brady.
Yeah.
Brady, it's not even close.
Without a doubt. Like,
It's not even
Are you
close.
kidding me right now? I mean, this dude is the best of all time.
It's not even close. Like I'm not. You know, and
Tomorrow.
and tomorrow, and
At 40,
no,
what
no
is
matter
it?
what,
45.
no matter what other talent I have around him,
Mhm.
I trust him to get me through whatever we're going to face for one game. Now, if I've got the right talent around him, it's Mahomes
Okay.
because of what he can do with it.
Mhm.
Rodgers, I don't trust.
Really?
I just don't. I'm sorry. And Josh Allen hasn't earned it for me
Right.
yet.
I get that.
So
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Russell,
Mahomes-
I would put Russell ahead of Josh. That's just me.
That's fine.
That's just me.
It's fair.
For the same reasons. And then those 4 quarterbacks are the guys that you go into your battle with. And I think against everybody else, I'd feel pretty good. Like if I got those 4, I don't care who else anybody else has. I got a pretty good idea that I'm going to be.
Right.
The surprising thing is that tomorrow, number 1, you would say Brady because he's 45.
45.
Won't you take the younger man?
for one game.
No.
If I need to win tomorrow, no matter
Well,
who's
I mean,
around me,
Did you not see Joe Burrow go into Kansas City and beat Mahomes?
I did.
Okay.
By the way, Burrow was way down Collins' list like at 8.
that's where he should be.
Did you see pretty much the defense? I mean, Josh Allen essentially outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and then the defense just had a brain fart.
Yeah,
Like
it
you
did.
don't cover the 2 most dangerous guys
stupid.
for 13 seconds.
Kelsey and Tyreek
Correct.
Hill.
Both of
Back to
them.
back plays. Let's just not.
It's terrible.
I mean, Mahomes is for real, but Brady.
Josh Allen's going to be fine. Like that's not.
Well, he's top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of
really
the space
good.
that you put him in. If
It's
he's
those
my,
5
if
and
he's my
everybody else is
quarter-
hanging out.
If he's my quarterback, I'm cool.
Burrow's not just hanging out, is he?
Well, I'd like to see him.
Well, give me one more. Give me one
Herbert's
more
up there,
with
too.
Burrow.
I wanna see
Give me
one more
one
year.
more with Burrow. Give me one more with
the pressure.
with Herbert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one more with those guys, and against each other, as a matter of fact.
Against each other.
Let me
with a harder schedule. Now everybody's not, everybody knows you. You're that guy. I think Burrow will end up being there though. I think his mindset and I think the skill positions around him, he's there. But
I saw it on.
He'll tell you he's only had one good year.
I saw it on TikTok, so I can't say who.
Oh, good Lord!
After 5,
those are words I didn't expect to hear today.
Colin, hold on, Colin.
High five, Simple. What is going on?
He ranked him. I know the top 5. I don't know where he had the San Diego quarterback.
L.A.
What?
None.
LA.
Yeah, LA. The Chargers quarterback. Yeah, I don't know where he had the Chargers quarterback.
Probably top 10.
He was top 10 for sure. I just don't know if he was 6 or 7 or 8. He had Burrow 7 or 8.
I mean, Herbert's got the best numbers for years 1 and 2 than anybody
Right.
ever.
So I was surprised Burrow was down on the list that far. I don't know if he had that kid in LA ahead of Burrow or not. I think he did. I think he was a notch ahead of Burrow.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin
That
Herbert.
kid.
Yeah.
But-
The top 5. Oh, yeah, he had
Colin.
Stafford 6. He had Stafford 6. So his top 5 were Mahomes.
So I'm not high on
Mahomes,
Stafford.
Allen,
Rodgers.
no, Rodgers was 4.
Brady.
Brady
Brady.
3, Rodgers 4, Russell Wilson 5,
Stafford 6.
Stafford 6.
Yeah, I didn't. Stafford. That's way too high for Stafford.
No,
because middle of the season, Stafford went that like 5-game stretch where he was just flat out horrible, and they were even comparing him to
Magically,
Jared.
you get Beckham
And then they
yeah.
start adding, and then the defense got hot. And I mean, Stafford's still a top 10 quarterback. But for that talent and that coach, not to be playing well all season is not top 10 worthy, not top 6, 7, 8 for me.
The reason I brought it up because of Rodgers. I don't know why. I just was like, Rodgers is 4. I'm moving him ahead of Allen on any list.
Yeah, I'm okay with that for now.
He's more proven.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's more
But that's what I
proven.
said. If you've
How
got
many
those
Super
4
Bowls does he
guys,
have?
yeah.
Rodgers has 1.
Well,
he's played.
He's got 1.
Right.
Yeah.
They failed. The Packers have missed out. They should have been.
Yeah,
way more
and Colin was
championships.
saying he's just in the clutch. You can't trust him.
Well, that's what I need. Clutch. Why do you think they say clutch?
Then it gets
Who-
into
who
a
is it?
complicated conversation about who's around him, right? If he had that big tight end that Brady's had, maybe it looks a little different, right?
Well,
He had Devontae Adams, though.
yeah.
He's had the best receiver in the
Yeah,
league.
yeah, he had-
and he
he
had
had
the
the
number
guy.
1 running back in the league. I mean, he
What
had
was
been,
the number 1 running back?
Aaron Jones.
He's good.
He was. He's top 5.
I mean, he just had 2.
But
he had-
imagine Brady with Aaron Jones, like same. You could
Okay.
flip it and have different conversations. If you gave Brady Tyreek Hill,
Mhm.
Oh, boy.
just
I don't like that, though.
Like just redo the record books and let's talk.
Yeah,
about it.
I mean, he's had talent around him. He just has not performed. And a lot of it is what people don't understand is you can light people up all season long. And look, you're playing against Detroit and Chicago 4 times. Okay, so those are stat stuffers, and it's hit or miss with the Vikings. So you're going to have one big game against them. So that's 5 games you're going to light people up. You throw in some other scrub teams. Now, this is not taking anything away from it, but when you get in the playoffs, these teams have been scouting you for the last quarter of the season as things get tighter, because the reason why it gets tighter at the last quarter of the season is because the teams that you play there have seen you play for 3/4 of the season. So they see your, injuries could happen, or you're not, offensive line isn't playing as well. What works, what doesn't work. And then all these people get in this database and they all talk. And especially if they're not in the playoffs, now they're preparing for you for 2 or 3 weeks in advance. They're getting the best game plan for you as possible. And then like 2 years ago, here comes Tom Brady in the cold from Tampa and just dices you up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So, I mean, at some point in time, I mean, clutch is important.
Oh, it is. I know that.
So that's probably where he's losing it, losing that number 1, But I tell you what, to come back and have an MVP season, I mean, it's a little, but there's some guys, coming up the shoot there.
See, in my mind, I'm often thinking Rodgers is number 1. Like I always That's the way.
If I ended up with Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah,
but I also know that
Send to Miami.
that when we
Yeah,
get to
take
when
him.
we get to those final 3 games of the season, and teams aren't going to let you do what you want to do with Devontae Adams, and they're going to force you to rely on the run game. Aaron Rodgers bucks against that. He doesn't want that. He wants this. I get he wants to put his cape on.
He has superior arm talent
and be super.
Yes,
He
thank
has
you.
superior
And I
arm
get
talent.
wowed by that.
But he's stubborn. He's stubborn.
I
To the
get
point
wowed
that
by
he
that.
won't take that second and third read because he knows that he doesn't have top level talent in those positions.
Well, there was a
Right, all fair.
Thank you.
Right, all fair.
Yeah,
there
That's what I
was
said.
there was they went when the playoffs and him towards the end of the season, whereas that he threw it deep like 4 different possessions, and there was guys wide open, like DP at second or third read. I disagree with DP. It's not really even talent. That's a choice, because in the beginning of the season he was throwing it up there against double coverage. They might come and get it, pass interference, so forth. When you're in the playoffs, those things count. Keeping the ball in your hands in the playoffs is just as important as scoring points, because as you get first downs, as you complete those 3rd and 8s and the guys open on the corner route for 15 yards, that flips the field. It gives more angst to the defensive coordinator for the players. But if they know, hey, he's going to just chuck it deep, all we got to do is have 2 guys back there. We got to you guys are getting paid millions of bucks. You guys got to make plays on the ball. He's going to give you opportunities. That's where Aaron Rodgers, and this is just my opinion, where he is kind of sometimes when you have such superior arm talent, and you saw this with Patrick Mahomes this year too. Remember when they were struggling? He wasn't hitting a lot of check downs, and then he started doing it. Then they started to get more yards because he always wanted to throw for 400 yards and all that. Sometimes when you're so talented like that, and you can do, like, he could fit the ball in between me and Jake right here, like Dan Marino. Sometimes you got to throw it down and check down and let your running back or tight end or whatever, do work.
I love that conversation.
All right,
you love Aaron Rodgers.
I like him.
Yeah,
have you put your feet up there on the on the live stream like he did when he had the toe?
He had that nasty toe.
He had a
broken toe.
He put it
Gross.
up there.
Touch the toe. Yeah, it was sick.
Did he do that?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sick. It was sick.
Hey, Jake, thanks for tolerating this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Old School's next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Now through July 20th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, and feel spectacular in the judgment-free zone with the most energy you've had since
kindergarten when we